Hi friends, Suzanne here. Welcome to another paper pumpkin alternative video on my YouTube channel and blog. If you're new to my channel, I want to say hi. This video will share alternative projects to stretch your paper pumpkin supplies. If you don't know what paper pumpkin is, click the link in the description box below and check it out. So come along with me as I attempt to create out of the box. Well, hello friends. Here we are with the paper pumpkin alternative for May 2024. This is the alternative for me, number one. Number two will come in a couple of days. The box is called, again, The Best There Is. It is very focused on sort of Father's Day. I believe we got the Misty Moonlight Stampin' spot. I'll share what the stamp set says in just a minute. I'm going to open up my little box. The kit components contain supplies for 9 cards and 9 envelopes. And the coordinating Stampin' Up! Colors are Basic Beige, Crumb Cake, Early Espresso, Misty Moonlight, Pool Party, and Wild Wheat. So these are the instructions, and inside the instructions that does tell you, well, it's not written, but there's pictures. They tell you where to put your glue dots, where to put your dimensionals, what it's going to look like. And then the back side shares with you all the products. And then as a bonus, there is a QR code that you can get or just hover your phone over the QR code and you can get an additional product. So here is the stamp artwork. It says Happy Father's Day with love and admiration to the most amazing person. You're the best there is, and a couple happy trees and some tree shrubberies. So this is the kit, and we're going to share with you the card alternative number 1. So I have my Misty Moonlight out. I have all the components that I need. I am using an additional product, and it is called the, let's see. Oh, hang on. Before I get into that, I'm going to cut off 1 inch of this card, and I'm going to use that for the sentiment. I'm just setting that aside. All right. So this is the additional product that I'm using. This is called adhesive sheet. And all you have to do is go into the Stampin' Up! Online store and just type in adhesive sheet and hit search, and you're going to find this amazing product. I use it all the time. It's a wafer thin piece of adhesive, and basically it's going to take that picture and turn it into a sticker, which I will show you how to utilize that, because it's a really great thing, especially if you want to do the technique that I am doing today. It is called the scrappy strip technique, I believe, and it was shown to me by Bruno Bertucci, who is married to Kylie Bertucci, who is the #1 demonstrator in Australia. So the only rule there is that you can't mess with the edges of this card. So I am making sure that I am cutting and trying to keep in order, which I failed miserably. And I screwed up a lot on this card. Anyway, I'm cutting some angled, almost like triangle pieces, like it's right and left. I'm sort of like cutting a little bit. I mean, probably the biggest, the widest one is like 1/2 inch. And then, and it's just, you want variety. You want some bigger ones, some thicker ones, some smaller ones, some thinner ones. But the only thing that you're not going to mess with is the edges. And eventually you can come in, I mean, especially with this little piece of card, if you had a different image or something like that where you could overlap and then cut down, that's fine. But for this particular image, and it was a piece that came in the kit, so I couldn't really, I had to be very kind of strategic as to how I was placing it on my card. So basically I'm going to take away the adhesive sheet, or the release paper from the adhesive sheet, and I'm going to stick it on a piece of basic white that was exactly the same size of this image, or this card, focal piece, let's call it. It was kind of, I don't know, it was interesting, but it was kind of boring. And then I think that I've made it even more interesting. So I made sure that my bottom one was straight. You can see the reason why. And as I'm adding that, I'm just making sure that my left and right sides are straight. And I'm creating a little, maybe it's like 1/16, just a little sliver of white coming through. Eventually, I didn't measure how long that white was. I just knew that it was longer than my piece, and I made sure I will trim it off. And as you can see, I'm just removing the release paper. I am using my take your pick tool, or use a pointy tool, use a pin if that's all you got. I absolutely like, the couple of things that you should come away from this video is that adhesive sheets are amazing, and so is your take your pick tool, gotta say. All right, so as you can see, I'm making sure that all the strips are correct and going through this the right way. And here is my top piece that I mixed up initially anyway. But you can see the reason why I wanted to make sure that all the edges were even. So here I'm coming with my Stampin' trimmer, and I gotta say, this is probably one of the trimmers that I love the most, and I have had many trimmers. I still have them. But this one cuts very thin strips of things, and I love that. So I'm gonna cut off the basic white here, and just make sure I'm nice and even. And then here we go. Bob's your uncle. There's my focal piece. So this blue wood comes from a card base. From the kit, I trimmed it down. I trimmed it down to be sized. Let's see. We're talking 4 inches by 5 1/4, and then I edged it with a extra piece of white, which was 4 1/8 by 5 3/8, and then I put it on one of the beige cards in the kit. So the additional product was that basic white, 2 pieces of basic white, and some dimensionals. I slathered the back of this with many dimensionals. Oh, and that came from the kit too. The kit's dimensionals are thicker than the ones you buy from Stampin' Up, so there is a good use to make sure that you cover the back of it very nicely. All right, so here is my sentiment. I went with Happy Father's Day to you, and I'm inking up that sentiment and stamping it on that very first cut that I made of that like card from the kit. I'm going to trim off just the edges real quick. And if you're noticing why I'm sharing the cutting dimensions, I've had a couple of people ask me if I would share what it looks like to cut the paper. So I'm doing my due diligence. So I put a little bit of dry adhesive on. I grabbed one of these furry things in the color that won't go with my motif here on my card, and instead of making it look like antlers, I sort of tilted it, and then I put dimensionals on the back of that sentiment, and then I put it on the card, and that is it. Thank you so very much for joining me today, and I will see you with the paper pumpkin alternative for number 2 shortly. Thanks a lot, guys. Bye for now.